talk about warm-up in my garage. Go ahead and get it open. You know, the great thing about being 0W20 is that with 0W20, you have a quicker warm-up because of the viscosity. And that's one of the reasons I probably won't switch to 5W30 is because of the warm-up. So generally, I know a lot of people on the forums were asking how long do you wait to warm up. I generally get it close to 100. Once it's to 100, I roll out of my driveway. We don't go into boost or anything of that nature, but I roll out of my driveway, throw it in reverse, check the garage, and then shut the garage. And then once everything is shut, you know, the garage is shut and whatnot, I start heading to work. Now, you're probably going to be like, well, the car's not fully warmed up. No, it's not. But we're being realistic. You know, most people aren't going to sit and wait, 5+ minutes when they've got to get to work. So for me, I'm not going to go into boost. We're not going to go into any, high RPM. The car's not going to go over more than probably 2,000 RPM. And by the time I'm out of my neighborhood, it should be just about warmed up. So that's what I do for the warm-up. I've never had any issues with any of my vehicles in the past, but I just do a light driving once the car is really lightly warmed up. Now, I won't be switching to the 5W30 because of how I do the warm-up. Now, I think if you live in a cold climate and you decide to run 5W30, you probably should do a little bit longer of a warm-up, just because it is going to take longer for that oil to reach certain parts of your engine. And so it's going to be a case-by-case basis. But as you can see, it's 7:30 in the morning and it's already pretty much 80 degrees outside. I'm in a relatively hot climate, and for me, I think it makes more sense to stay at 0W20 because of my driving style. I know realistically I'm not going to wait 5-10 minutes in the driveway letting my car warm up every day. As you guys know, unless you have the automatic, remote start is not a stock option for us. So we don't have remote start, and not everybody's gonna wait. Realistically, I think people on the forums or online will say, "Oh, I wait every day for my car to warm up." No, we don't. We've got jobs and work and schedules. We're not waiting 10 minutes every single day. 99.9% of us. So for me, I'm just being honest how I drive my car, and 180-ish is warmed up. I'm not before 180. I'm not going full boost. I'm really even trying to stay out of boost. But by the time I get out of my neighborhood, I'm starting to get out of my neighborhood, I'm just about there. So I'm almost out of my neighborhood, and the car's 150. So it's almost all the way warmed up by the time I'm out, and I haven't done any heavy cruising or anything of that nature. So the highway is down the street a little bit. So by the time I get to the highway, we should be just about fully warmed. You know, within a safe margin to be able to get on it and not worry that we're damaging anything, that that the oil hasn't reached a point where it needs to be. Stoplight. So we're at this stoplight. We've got the highways down there a little bit, and 163. So we're almost fully warmed up. You know, leave a comment in the comment section. You know, what do you do for a warm up? Are you the type of person that sits in the driveway for 10 minutes, or are you the type of person that cuts your car on and just drives? You know, goes and that is why I think Subaru used such a light oil, is because I think that is the consumer that we have today. We have a consumer that wants to be able to hop in their car and go, and they don't really think about warming up their car or whatever else. They just think about, hey, let's get to work. And I think that's a reality of things, that most people don't warm up their cars for more than a few seconds. And I'm not saying that everyone's driving them hard when they're cold, but I know there is a portion of people that probably are, banging on their car right off out of the gate because they've got to get to work. And I'm not going to shame them for that. If you got to do what you got to do. I won't say that I've never done that. I had a 3000 GT for a long time, and I beat on that thing cold more times than I can count. So I can't say that that's not something I would do. Let's see, we're coming up on the highway signs in 180. So I'm fully warmed up. We're nothing too crazy for time period, and I haven't been too hard on the car. Ooh, an Eclipse. It looks like a GST. They didn't really have too many of the GSXs. That was one of my dream cars as a kid. Let's see, now we're hopping on the highway. It's a little bit of a loop. At this point, we're at 185. So we're warmed up where we need to be, almost 190 degrees. Now it's time. Have a little bit of fun. All right, guys, that's it for today.